like her, poses like her, and has the same taste in men. And speaking of Jess, revealing new shots of her big belly and Britney's too. Get the real story behind the blonde bumps. Is The Bachelor.
And she is the new Jessica Simpson.
That's Nick Lachey and Laguna Beach's Kristen Cavallari. Celebrity Living magazine claims they're the newest, hottest couple, and only they have an exclusive interview with the look-alike starlets.
Kristen told Celebrity Living that she thinks Jessica Simpson has the best style in Hollywood. She hopes to be one day dressing like Jessica Simpson.
But style is not the only similarity for these two blondes. Who made them famous? An MTV reality show. Who looks smoking in a bikini? Both of them. And most important, both bombshells have captured the attention of blue-eyed babe Nick Lachey.
On February 24th, Nick and Kristen both arrived separately at the W Hotel in Westwood.
But Kristen wasn't left alone for long.
Hung out all night and were very affectionate with each other.
And don't think this was just a one-night kind of fling.
On February 25th, Nick, Kristen, and Nick's mom, Kate, all dined together at Palomino Restaurant and spent the whole night talking to each other.
That's right. Nick even brought Kristen out to meet his mom. Now it'll be fun to see if Kristen can create one more thing in common with Jessica, the title of Mrs. Lachey. For now, Nick is still technically a bachelor. And so is the Bachelor, Travis.
You, the following footage is not for the faint-hearted.
You're hogging my camera. Oh, you're hogging it.
Those two cute boys of the WB Supernatural hit the Museum of Television and Radio's Paley Festival, and the result was sheer fandemonium. Tonight, we had our first screaming, crying girls. Can I do a reenactment? Oh my God!
Definitely mistaken me for somebody else.
Maybe I should put makeup on. Maybe they never see me without makeup.
Yeah, that must be it. As for what's coming up on the show...
Let's just say that the father will be coming back.
We've been working pretty heavily with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays the dad.
Wait a minute. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as in Izzy's Jeffrey Dean Morgan from Grey's Anatomy? Yep, that's the guy. And since Supernatural shoots in Canada, it looks like Alex could be catching a break in the whole Alex, Denny, Izzy love triangle. Who are you rooting for at this point, Alex or Denny? It's a hard call.
You know what? It is a hard call because Alex...
Lachey met the press for the Teen People Luncheon celebrating 20 teens who will change the world. That issue of the mag is on stands right now.
E.T. breaks news. Dennis Quaid goes on. Was the force behind the annual Teen People Luncheon. Current cover boy Nick Lachey stopped to pose for a few pictures before heading inside to host the event.
You've done more before the age of 20 than most people will do in their entire life.
The lunch and the magazine are honoring 20 teens who will change the world.
Very exciting.
That's a very exciting... Actually signed on to star in She Said, He Said, a new comedy for the CW. Now, the pilot was written by Dan Berenson and one of our favorite people, Heidi Clements, the supervising producer of Entertainment Tonight. Heidi, way to go, way to handle your business, and can't wait for my part.
Coming up, it's a classic TV sing-off.
Coming up is Nick Lachey singing a vengeful tune. The details on Nick's new tell-all music video. The hot new fashion access.
Now, since announcing his split from Jessica Simpson, Nick Lachey has kept his personal life, well, personal. But now, if you watch his new video, he may be singing a different tune. Jason Kennedy has the details.
The song is called What's Left of Me, and the me is Nick Lachey. The single seems to be based on his old world with ex-Jessica Simpson, and now it's time to make the video. The latest issue of Us Weekly uncovers the truth behind the music.
Nick's song is all about Jessica. Nick won't come out and say it, but to everyone who hears it, it's blatantly obvious that he's singing about Jessica.
The setting for the video is his reality show, Becoming Reality. Supposedly, Nick sings in a house just like the MTV Newlyweds home he and Jess shared in Calabasas, California, with MTV VJ Vanessa Minnillo playing the wife role. Us reports that similar to their marriage, things start out smooth, but as the video progresses, everything seems to fall apart. Vanessa says, quote, "The song is all about changes."
He wrote the song right after splitting with Jessica late last year. Nick has already shot the video this week, and they're now editing it, and it'll be out at the end of April.
Tell me you love me, why did you leave me all alone?
Nick's song is being compared to the Justin Timberlake-Britney Spears split. Justin never sang her name, but check out the picture of a blonde being kicked. We'll say it, Britney. With that, our Ryan Seacrest on his LA radio morning show spoke to Nick last month and asked the burning question.
Is it about Jessica?
It's about life. It's about it's about life and love. And
well, I mean, this is some serious turmoil here. I'm looking at the lyrics because I want you. I feel you crawling underneath my skin like a hunger, like a burning.
It's actually about it's actually about looking forward. It's about moving on with your life.
Nick is moving on, and apparently Stacy Keibler is helping him. The two met while she competed against Nick's brother Drew on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. She says, quote, "I'm trying to find him a good girl. I keep telling him he's not going to find a girl in the LA club scene."
I'm told that Nick is very interested in Kristen Cavallari. They actually have been seeing each other. They went out on a date as recently as Sunday in Los Angeles.
Whomever is on Nick's arm, she'll be one lucky lady.
And the man most often seen on Jessica's arm lately is her hairstylist, Ken Perry.
Head on over to E! today and choose your favorite on-screen romance. Hot off his win on Dancing with the Stars, Drew Lachey will host the 2006 Miss USA pageant April 21st on NBC. He'll be joined by Queer Eye's Carson Kressley, who'll be providing commentary. We've got more E! News right after this break.
But certainly not least, the coupling of Kristen Cavallari and Nick Lachey. Apparently, their romance ended before it even began. We caught the Laguna Beach babe out on the town with a new guy, Lonnie Moore, owner of celeb hotspot Geisha House. Would you say Kristen is cheating on Nick? Well, not if Kristen says she's not even dating him.
Tell me the truth about Nick.
Well, the truth is we're friends. I mean, we met at a party, and he's a super nice guy, but there's nothing romantic going on.
Doesn't sound like sparks are flying, but at Hollywood High, things can change in an instant.
No doubt. Here's a happy Hollywood beginning. Drew Lachey and his wife, Leah, welcomed their first child, a daughter, yesterday in Los Angeles. A rep for the couple says Mom, Dad, and baby are all happy and healthy.
Is Paris Hilton a single girl? Rumors have been swirling that the
And there's Jessica's pal, Adam Levine. It was definitely an interesting crowd. But don't worry, there were no fights, as far as we know anyway. And of course, the party didn't stop there. Gary collection. And dancing queen Cheryl Burke gave us the scoop on her partner Drew's new baby.
Drew's doing good. He's busy. He's definitely busy with his baby, but he's going to be a great dad. I know it.
Cheryl says she has not yet met baby Isabella, but it looks like Uncle Nick has. We spotted him at the hospital earlier that day, all ready to check in on his new niece. While back at the Diamond event, talk turned to marriage. Nicolette Sheridan and Michael...
Kissing! Find out which brunette is first in line to replace Jessica. It's serious trouble for Brittany. Which Hollywood hookup and a Broadway curtain goes up for Julia. That and more in today's Celebrity Sighting. Oh my gosh, Julia, over here, Julia. Street, the Who is Nick Lachey Dating Now media frenzy continued. Could it be that friend Kristen Cavallari is out? And TV host and Lachey video babe Vanessa Minnillo is in. Maybe. A brand new People.com article reports several sightings of Nick and the 25-year-old girl around town. To the left coast now, outside L.A. After winning her Academy Award, the Oscar darling celebrated her 30th birthday. And Reese says she's not worried about getting older in Hollywood, saying, quote, "I feel like I've accomplished a lot, but that I have a lot more to do." Reese isn't alone. Many of our favorite stars are leaving their 20s behind. Former NSYNC member J.C. Chasez is saying bye-bye-bye to 29 on August 8th. This proud Leo shares his birthday with another boy bander. I'm talking about Drew Lachey.
I'm a little sore. My knees are a little bruised from the knee walks.
Fresh off his Dancing with the Stars victory, this former 98-degree singer will likely waltz into his third decade.
I'm gonna get everybody drunk tonight.
Oh, no.
500 shots. I need 500 shots.
Hopefully, no one gave Ja Rule any new bling at his birthday bash on February 29th. Indiana, where it seems even the guys love Nick Lachey. Nick was in Indiana for college hoops finals, showing fans no, not how to slam dunk or charm the ladies, but the art of the float.
You have to have the right combination of coked ice cream. It's a very careful calibration of ice cream to coke.
Calibration? Nick, that's an awfully big word for such a little dessert.
A dazzling DJ, a daytime dancer, and some comic actors. Her son Patrick's first movie.
Very good scorekeeping.
Then Nick Lachey on the fine art of float making.
You have to have the right combination of coked ice cream.
Tori Spelling's PDA with her new fiancé. Climbing up the charts with his new hit single, What's Left of Me. But this weekend in Indianapolis, he was a different kind of pop star. Nick Lachey fired off some T-shirts and posed with lucky fans from among the masses cheering for the Final Four in Indianapolis.
Some of their teams have lost this weekend. Doesn't matter. Everyone's having a great time and really enjoying themselves.
It was all for Mike Coke Fest, which had musical performances by Carrie Underwood and John Mellencamp. Nick played host, and to prove he is worthy, Nick showed us how to make the perfect Coke float. Wow, what a scoop.
You got to take it slowly because you can't go backwards, you know what I mean? You slowly add the Coke. You have to have the right combination of Coke to ice cream, and if it goes one way or the other too far, it really does spoil the float. Not bad.
And Friday night here in New York City, Tori Spelling led her real-life hangout at the premiere of her new...
Need to know.
It's a Simpson shocker. Jessica caught wearing her ring. What she says about putting it back on.
Then Nick Lachey breaks down. The hunk is brought to tears while talking about Jessica. Plus,
welcome to my video shoot for my first single.
We're on the set of Nick's spanking new music video with the hottie and his rumored girlfriend.
I'm the Nick main squeeze in the video.
Julia Roberts makes a huge...
The Nick Lachey interview everyone's talking about, from the tears he couldn't hold back to his continued love for Jess. Nick put it all on the line.
In this month's issue of Rolling Stone magazine, nearly divorced Nick Lachey lets it all out and then some.
He wept openly, which is something that he doesn't feel any shame about. I think it feels good for him to express something real.
While talking to Rolling Stone's Alison Glock, Nick held nothing back. Whether it was talking about his broken heart, his relationship with Jessica's dad, or this bombshell.
He said he would remarry her, yes. He would remarry Jessica.
That's right. Lachey told Rolling Stone that, quote, I'd marry her all over again because I still love her. It breaks my heart that I couldn't make Jessica happy. Happiness he had hoped to find again with a trip to Italy just weeks before their breakup was announced.
They did it to get away from everyone for a change.
But after a rough first day on the road, Nick says he told Jessica, quote, you are an angel, Jessica. You're just not my angel.
They both cried, and then they had a great week because the pressure was sort of off. They kind of saw the writing on the wall.
And in the end, when asked who's to blame, Lachey doesn't point fingers at anyone. Not the show that's put their lives on display, not Jessica, and not even Jessica's dad, whose disapproval of Nick was always present. Of Joe Simpson, Nick says, quote, I don't know if he ever liked me.
It's no secret that marrying into the Simpson family is sort of like marrying into the Sopranos, only I don't think Joe is as cuddly as Tony.
And still, after all the tears and turmoil, does Nick consider himself damaged goods?
Having some doubts, as anyone going through divorce would, but ultimately I think he thinks he's all right. He's a solid guy.
Yeah, he is. Later in the show, Nick takes us behind the scenes of his very cool new music video. Trust me, you're going to want to see this. Juliana?
Thank you, Ryan. Well, now, is Jessica Simpson still wearing her wedding ring from Nick? And how about Brittany heading to court over Babygate?
Coming up, Nick goes solo.
Welcome to my video shoot.
Behind the scenes of the hot new music video, insiders say takes jabs at Jess.
It's about looking at yourself and for me, looking forward.
But could Jess care less? Who we caught Miss Simpson locking lips with. Then, why women...
Newly single and releasing a new single. Now we're going to take you behind the scenes with Nick as he creates his very personal music video.
Strong lyrics from one famous guy going through one famous divorce. Nick Lachey gets real while cameras follow him for the MTV special Making the Video, premiering Saturday.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my video shoot for my first single called What's Left of Me.
The song is about looking forward, presumably moving on from Jessica Simpson. Now, he doesn't mention her name in the single, but he almost doesn't have to.
The video basically deals with two people who are in a relationship and are at a tough juncture in their life together. And hopefully what people get out of the video is, these people genuinely, love each other, and there's all these things that are out of their control, which is somehow tearing them apart. I'm not a big believer in looking backward and, and kind of woe is me, boo-hooing about things you can't control anymore. So take what you've learned, take what's left of you, and move forward. It's a beautiful day here in LA, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Want to have fun? How about hanging on the set with his co-star, MTV VJ Vanessa Minnillo? Off camera, rumors of this duo being an item are flying. Wonder if this flirting has anything to do with it.
Someone said here, I'm the Nick main squeeze in the video. I like that better. Not the video vixen, the Nick main squeeze. At least for 24 hours.
Nick is no stranger to mixing business with pleasure. He and Jessica share the video spotlight, too. So with these updated characters in place, let the therapy through music begin.
That was great, Nick. It was a long day, but I think you got everything done. It's all good. Feel great about it.
All right, Jen, Anna...
Even out yet, but we have got your exclusive look at his brand new music video, which stars our own Vanessa Minnillo.
Yes, it does, and I wish you could have been there. It was such a good time, but since you couldn't and everybody else couldn't, I got the exclusive for you guys. It's the title track from Nick's long-awaited album, What's Left of Me, and I not only got to co-star with Nick, but I'm also taking you onto the set to show you guys just how the video was made. I've got him shaped well.
My colleague is obviously finding this role to be a big, monumental challenge. Not. She's Nick's love interest in the video for his new single, What's Left of Me.
Great arms. Good hair. I was dubbed in the treatment as the featured girl, but then someone said here, I'm the Nick main squeeze in the video. I like that better. Not the video vixen, the Nick main squeeze. At least for 24 hours.
Oh, God.
I've been dying inside, you see. I'm going out of my mind, out of my mind. I'm just running in circles all the time.
So what are your aspirations for the album? You know, you want to talk about it, the feel, the vibe, where you're going with it, and right now in your life, and all that good stuff.
Well, the album, to me, is very personal because it is about the last year of my life, which, you know, as most people know, has been a little bit crazy.
Nick's Making the Video premieres Saturday on MTV.
I saw the first shot. It was a great lip shot.
It was a great lip shot?
Yeah, you can give LL Cool J a run for his money.
Anyone who watches MTV knows Vanessa.
Oh.
And I've known her longer than that.
And what about all these rumors about something going on between Nick and Vanessa off-screen? Well, she's going to tell all later in the show.
Right now, Nick's here in Hollywood shooting a pilot for the new CW network called She Said, He Said.
The book spent personal with our Vanessa Minnillo.
Move on and move ahead.
Not live in the past.
That's next. Vanessa Minnillo interview you've been waiting for. She sets the record straight about those Nick Lachey romance rumors.
I've known him for years, and he's a friend, and I admire his work, and I think this album is going to do wonders for him. And of course, you know how the biz goes. As soon as I worked with him, now all of a sudden we're dating. No, we're not dating. So I'm sorry, guys. You got to find a new girl to pick fun at.
So that settles that. E.T. was on the set today of MTV's Total Request Live, where Nick was Vanessa's special guest via satellite.
Why did you choose me?
Why did I choose you? Because one, you're hot, and you're a brunette, and what I didn't want is people to look at this video and think that in any way I was taking a shot at Jessica.
While they were working together on the video for his new single, What's Left of Me, Nick told Vanessa he's put some pretty raw emotion into his highly anticipated new CD.
I just challenged myself to be as honest as I could, as courageous as I could. Took some chances that maybe I normally wouldn't have taken, and I think that it paid off.
I've been dying inside, you see.
For me, this album is almost a journal of the last year, so it kind of takes everyone through all those emotions that you go through as a result of something like a split. And then the last song, Resolution, is kind of my way to cap it and say, look, you know what? This is all I'm going to say about that, and now I'm moving forward. It's all about moving forward.
Not live in the past.
And while Nick revealed all about the breakup to Rolling Stone magazine, Jessica just pulled out of a Vanity Fair cover story because sources tell us she doesn't kiss and tell. Tomorrow on E.T., Tom Cruise's first
emotional trail is Nick Lachey. Ryan has that story.
We know Nick has loved and lost. Now he tells his side of the story through song and an MTV special, Nick Lachey, What's Left of Me, airing Saturday.
You know, I had no idea what this last year was going to hold for me.
Cameras follow the singer on his radio promotion tour for the album's first single, but music wasn't always the main topic.
We just finished shooting Newlyweds, and I was really happy to get back to my real job as a musical artist. What I didn't know would happen along that road is that my marriage would come to an end.
Once the star of 98 Degrees, then Jessica Simpson's husband, Nick is now on a new road, one that he even admits has been rocky.
When I got married, that was it for me. If I was in it for life. If I had never done the show and was still married, that would have been a worthwhile sacrifice. You don't believe this filth, do you? I'm tainted by the business now. I don't know that I can ever be as open as I was before I had, you know, the success of Newlyweds. I'm more guarded. I can't be as open with people because I've been burned. Do I believe that I'll fall in love again one day? I mean, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope I'm not going to, you know, be the jerk Uncle Bachelor the rest of my life. You know, that's not what I envisioned for myself.
Up from Jessica. And check her out. That's our own Vanessa Minnillo in his new music video. Today, she's in our New York studio with the latest Nick news. Vanessa?
That's right, Mary, and this guy is always honest. Just listen to him open up about how tough it was to watch his marriage unravel in the public eye.
When I got married, that was it for me. That was, you know, that was my life. I was in it for life.
Nick is candid about his breakup with Jessica and their lives in the spotlight.
As much as you want to say, oh, we're not going to pay attention to tabloids, not only do people around you pay attention to it, but ultimately you pay attention to it.
And the frenzy hasn't died down yet. On Wednesday, Jessica was surrounded by photographers while out grocery shopping. And as for life after Jessica?
Do I believe that I'll fall in love again one day? I mean, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope I'm not going to, you know, be the jerk Uncle Bachelor the rest of my life.
In fact, Nick is looking forward to the day he's a dad.
There's no doubt about it that I want kids, and I can't think of a better day in my life than, you know, the day that happened.
I've been dying inside, you see.
Now Nick's sharing his feelings in song and on Nick Lachey, What's Left of Me, premiering Saturday on MTV.
05 was a tough year, probably the toughest of my life, so it's hard to go into the studio and be creative.
The special follows Nick as he promotes his new album out May 9th.
You don't believe this filth, do you?
Oh, no, I don't. The picture was really good. Don't you agree? His disdain for being gossip fodder is obvious, but Nick says he holds no ill will towards the reality show that helped his career.
If I had never done the show and was still married, that would have been a worthwhile sacrifice. But you'll never know.
It's great to see Nick dealing with his own heartache by talking about it and being so open and honest. Mark?
You know, honesty is the best policy, Vanessa, unless you are Michael Douglas in the Sentinel.
6 pageant.